One Zambia, one nation, and welcome to Zanis News. We look at the top stories in the news. ZNBS to construct 236 housing units. Rumfunsa Wetland Cropping Program beneficiaries identified. WHO applauds Ministry of Health for quality service delivery. Plus Zambia preps for the Four Nations tournament. With the news in detail, my name is Margaret Kangwa. Now, the Zambia National Building Society intends to construct 236 housing units comprising high, medium and low-cost houses in Kasima area of Mongu district in Western Province. The housing units are aimed at reducing the housing deficit in the country and will be built in liaison with a development partner, Habitat for Humanity Zambia. Ikachana Sindala now reports.
Decent housing is one of the basic social human needs that the country needs to address in order to develop. According to a survey carried out by the Zambia National Building Society ZNBS unit, mandated for mobilizing housing finance to invest in mortgage, the housing deficit for the country currently stands at 1.5 million. In this regard, ZNBS has come on board in Western Province to address the situation, and the government has since applauded this move.
One of the challenges that government or people face is that of housing, decent housing. As government, we have faced these challenges of housing. We've employed teachers twice now since we formed government. The nurses too. And I'm witness, I've been to my Nalikwanda constituency there. They're living in mud and poor houses. So I would want to extend to ZNBS, not only here in Mongu, consider also to go and get land there and build some. We would still want other corporate entities to come in and invest here in Mongu.
ZNBS project manager for housing development, Felix Mukonde, reviewed some of the major findings from the survey.
So according to our study, as the National Building Society, we are mandated for mobilizing housing finance to invest in mortgage in order to reduce the housing deficit. We discovered to say one of the biggest components is a population growth. The second, which we discovered, is the issue to do with land administration. Land administration and land rights have a lot of bureaucracy for someone to access the land. The third issue, which was identified, is the cost of material itself. The last point, but not the least, is also availability of financial institutions in the sector, which are able to offer affordable mortgage financing.
Habitats for Humanity Zambia policy and advocacy specialist Farai Shumba gave a brief on his institution and the workmanship with the locals in housing projects.
Habitat for Humanity Zambia is an international NGO focusing on affordable housing. And in this project, we have partnered with the Building Society to provide technical service in terms of the housing designs as well as the construction process, where we intend to work hand in hand with the local artisans to build these affordable housing in line with the Urban and Regional Planning Act.
Ikachana Sindala, Zanis in Mongu, Western Province.
Now, in Southern Province, the Iteziteji community radio station has started broadcasting digitally after accessing a 200,000 loan from the Constituents Development Fund. We have the details.
Iteziteji radio station in Iteziteji district has gone digital. The Constituents Development Fund loan has funded the installation of the digital transmission infrastructure for the benefit of the community. By bringing it to a digital signal, the radio station is now able to stay accessible to its listeners. General Shimala is the board chairperson for Iteziteji Community Radio Station.
Digital migration was a government policy that all radio stations and TV stations should have migrated to digital, I think, sometime in 2019. However, due to lack of funding, the radio station delayed in complying with this government policy. But with the arrival of CDF, the radio station managed to apply for a loan from CDF, and this loan that managed to migrate the station from analog to digital.
Meanwhile, Iteji Council chairperson says digitalization of the radio station will improve information dissemination.
Now with this digital system that has come at a tune of 200,000 kwacha to ITT radio station, it means that now we're going to actually reach more areas and actually sensitize the people of Iteji on what the government is doing for them.
Community members have thanked the government for funding the radio station.
Radio yatu niona kuti inali na ma problems yambiri kumbuyo oku. Nali kuchita pena pamene mufuno mverera nkani ndiye pamene izima. So mkuenda kwa masiku na boromvera kuti radio yatu government yatu funding. Monga community member tinakala bantu bokondwera manenge.
Frederick Mwansa, Zanis, Iteji.
Thank you for that report. Now, Zambia Information and Technology Authority ZICTA Copperbelt Regional Officer Christabel Langam has urged the general public to avoid putting personal information on social media platforms as a way to protect themselves from cyber crimes. And Ms. Langam says most people are always putting personal information on their social media platforms, which is a major cause of cyber crimes. Details in this report.
Bwino fyabana kashina bafala na issue baisa ambo kunjipusha before tulepera kwa maloni tuaba ku banki yaso so ngamlefo kumpera 10 pini tufile twakopa ku FP munganda whatever fintu nomba na isabo mfwafe bwangu le sanjirula bwangu na isabo bibakonjere ndangeni ko cards.
A woman came through to my house trying to offer me a fake loan. Luckily, I discovered she was a scammer. Such people want to get your personal details so that they can rob you.
Christabel Chisenga narrates how she was almost scammed by would-be scammers at her residence in Ndola district. Today, she tells a story and wants people to be aware of scammers in society. The Zambia Information Communication Technology Authority, ZICTA, is also on course to ensure residents are also sensitized on how to protect themselves from scammers.
So I think today was a great success, especially having had full and active participation from the audience, specifically the persons with disability, because remember ICT is about inclusion. Everybody should be included and we should move at the same pace. So if they can come for these meetings and ask the questions and understand what are scams, where do we report, how do we mitigate and minimize the impact of these things. So we are emphasizing that at any given point, people should have this information at their fingertips. That is why we've gone the route of working with people at the grassroots, through the district commissioners, through local community radio stations, because this is where the information flows.
The Ndola residents are happy with the information received.
Inform as many people about various ways of protecting ourselves from being scammed. As a people have been losing a lot of money through a lot of schemes that people are using to try and get money out of hardworking people. So from this workshop, we make sure that a lot of this news gets to a lot of people that we work with, those that we interact with, so that they may know the various ways of protecting themselves from the scam.
Nelly Bota reporting for Zanis in Ndola.
Thank you for that report. Now, Namwala district has dispatched 158 youths to various trades training institutions in Lusaka under the 2024 Constituents Development Fund CDF Skills Development Component. The youths who have been drawn from the 4 chiefdoms in the districts are being sponsored at a cost of more than 1.7 million kwacha. Here is a report.
Namola Town Council has dispatched 158 youths supported under the 2024 Youth and Skills Development to various trades training institutes in Lusaka to pursue different trade and skills courses. The 158 youths have been supported at a total cost of 1.7 million under the CDF Skills Development Component to pursue different courses in plumbing, electrical mechanics, tailoring, computer studies, and entrepreneurship, among other courses.
We have just dispatched 158 youths for skills training at Stafford Trades Institute in Lusaka for training in various skills. This is under the sponsorship of 2024 CDF for a total amount of 1,797,750 kwacha.
The district administration is confident that the youths, once trained, will help mitigate the shortage of community skills in various sectors in the district.
Namwala, educate potential. Maka na maskills, maskills na maskills, manji maningi mungu awechita. Okay? Shikochi bantu alanda shikochi sheshi bapanga mnamwala. They are not enough. Manda sungantu watu yauza kamanda walanda mahi, mabagla bas. Walanda ma bricklayers, ma plotting kwa manji mnamwala monu bantu. Walanda ma bricklayers, walanda ma tailors, walanda banji bulio. Things are going to change.
The beneficiary youths are grateful for government for the gesture.
Ngumbaji bela just CDF na new don government butu weha we agwia anu ndaweha a CDF ndaweha kosi ya electrical so ndinka kurusaga we agwia ndarumba maningi
ndio kuchitatera leni maybe ndia kurigwasha ko abana bangu aba family so ndarumba kuba new don government ko chikoro kubantora for free kupaterera mali.
The CDF Skills Development is an initiative that will not only fill the skills gap in the community, but enhance self-reliance and promote the livelihood of youth in the district. Walinda PV reporting in Namola district of Southern Province.
Our government identifies beneficiaries for wetland cropping program in Rumfunsa. Stay tuned.
Dive into the Women's Month with great entertainment on Topstar. Enjoy the best of sports, series, movies, plus more for only 180 kwacha monthly subscription. Antenna Classic OD Smart. Get set for a football roller coaster with the Bundesliga as Henry Kane's Bayern Munich continue to chess log leaders Bayer Leverkusen for the top sport. Also revel in the excitement of the Saudi Pro League and witness football giants Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema, Mane, and Fashion Sakala all in action. But there's more exciting content. Extend your entertainment to movie channels on Topstar. Intrigue yourself and family with the latest and freshest action movies on ST Movies Plus, mysterious and blockbusters on Filmbox, and the best of comedy movies on ST Zone.
Oh, that was worse, huh?
Every day. So, what are you waiting for? Download the StarTimes Own app and enjoy content on the go. Subscribe today. Topstar. Enjoy digital life.
We continue with the news. Now, the Department of Community Development is identifying and listing beneficiaries for the wetland cropping program in Rumfunsa district to mitigate the effects of the dry spell. And District Community Development Officer Maureen Kambapi says the department has embarked on the exercise to alleviate the looming hunger situation at household level. More in this report.
Rumfunsa district has not been spared by the dry spell that has affected most parts of the country. In response to President Hakainde Hichilema's declaration of the dry spell as a national disaster and an emergency, the Department of Community Development is implementing the wetlands cropping program to mitigate the impact of the looming hunger. Officers from the department in Rumfunsa district are on the ground to identify and sensitize communities that have wetlands.
So people will use this same land, which is already wet because it is along the riverbank. So we are sure that we'll get something. If they plant this time, we are going to harvest. because the land is too wet, and it is a good gesture that people will need to use the inputs.
Rufunsa District Community Development Officer Maureen Kabampi now explains the concept of the program.
The prolonged dry spells, and as the Department of Community Development under the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services, we have been mandated to implement emergency wetland cropping. This follows the declaration by the Republican President of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, that the country, all those areas that were affected by drought should be declared as a national disaster and an emergency. This program is to ensure that each household and that have water bodies that have dam areas cultivate and have food to ensure food security in their households, and to also assist other communities, surrounding communities that are not able to benefit from the program.
The identified beneficiaries are happy with the initiative by the government.
Pona boma yatikumbukirako minda mambwera kuno tili nayo yambiri yakuti akatithandiza akatiyazi tingathandizike.
Yamikira boma iyi amene yatiyanganapo ise pa programu amene yabwera kuti tivale mazi.
Ntokoza pa boma potiganizire si anthu amene tinkhala mbali mwa manzi. Pachilala chabwera ichi chikulu chamene chaononga milisi yonse. Then potiganizira kuti pasako mbewu na fertilizer kuti tilime futi milisi ya number 2.
The beneficiaries have also appealed to government to consider giving them irrigation equipment so that they can continue with this program throughout the year.
President pa program ene matiletera yokuti so tipemba tu akatipasako ka machine tingatilire malo yakulu titasolvinga problem pa nyumba.
So ngati boma yatithandizira nichi tingankhala chokondwa kuti njala ichepeko yamene yatichitikira.
Reporting for Zanis in Rufunsa District, I am Msekiwa Ntembe.
What a powerful program indeed. Otherwise, we continue with the news. 3 non-government organizations in Namwala district have rolled out a project aimed at improving the social and economic status of marginalized groups. And Oxfam Nutri-Aid Trust and Women for Change have provided assorted agriculture equipment to farmers in the district. Details in this report.
Nutri-Aid Trust, Oxfam and Women for Change in Namala district have continued to uplift the lives of the marginalized groups, such as women and youth, through the Farmer Field Schools project. The project, which is funded by Irish Aid and implemented by Oxfam, is targeting to improve the social and economic status of the marginalized groups in the districts. To actualize these objectives, Oxfam supported 4 farmer field schools with 120 gumboots, 4 reapers and 10 chaka hoes to help them to promote sustainable climate-smart agriculture practices.
So we are very happy to hand over, and we are expectant that the farmers are going to learn a lot of things out of these farmer field schools. Thank you.
This development is complementing the Department of Agriculture programs in the district.
Following the rain pattern that we are receiving, we are encouraging our farmers to practice smart agriculture. Hence, what you have given us, it will help so much to mitigate the problems that the farmers are facing. So, thank you.
The beneficiary of farmer field schools are delighted with the gesture.
Tuenda kulumba ba Oxfam yukutuletela ibintu ebi okubatuletela maripazi magambutsi tuenda kubalumbaga pati kambo ekichibolo kyobatuletela tuenda gwiya kutegwa kuti tusumpule maumeso kutegwa kuti eti ndizatulako ya ikumwaya mapenzi atujisi
Arumba maningi ba Oxfam kutugwa hili yakwe ipegwa ibatupa buzwa bwasuno magambut machako maripa alimwa ayakupimya yonse twayibona so twarumba uti mwema mulelege.
Wahinda PV reporting in Namala district of South.
In other news, Mbala resident magistrate Kennedy Nkundwe has described the Children's Code Act number 12 of 2022 as progressive. He said this when the Department of Child Development held a sensitization meeting to revive the district's Child Protection Committee and enlighten community members on the terms of reference and the enacted Children's Code Act number 12 of 2022. Let us get the details.
Children are vulnerable to different forms of abuse, and as such, government is doing everything possible to protect them in order for them to enjoy their childhood and grow into responsible adults. The Department of Child Development was in Mbala district to revive the District Child Protection Committee and enlighten them on the terms of reference and the enacted Children's Code Act number 12 of 2022.
After you have been trained, we need to see heightened child safeguarding. We need to see heightened child protection within Mbala. We do not want to hear many cases of children being married before the age of 18, because this law that we have come to discuss prohibits child marriages.
And Mbala resident magistrate Kennedy Nkundwe has described the Children's Code Act as progressive.
It's quite progressive. There are a lot of provisions that have really come in to protect the interests of the child. And now it is also a requirement that each time a child is appearing in court, he must be represented. Okay, and also it has brought in, of course, there are a lot of silent features. There's also another issue of a child-friendly court. I think it's very progressive. I really endorse that one. A court environment is quite intimidating in itself. Even adults really get so much intimidated, such that even if somebody wanted to say something, because of the environment that is not very friendly, they would end up perhaps even just incriminating themselves.
Earlier, the Department of Child Development paid a courtesy call on Mbala District Commissioner Justus Kazwe at his office.
Most of the officers who were trained were transferred, and there is need to train other officers so that at least those committees they continue protecting our children.
Helen Bwalia for Zanis in Mbala, Northern Province.
Thank you for that report. We continue with the news, and now Zambia National Blood Transfusion Service team is in Southern Province to carry out blood donations from well-wishers. And led by the manager Dia Kumwenda, the team is collecting blood and actively expanding donor base in Pemba, Monze and Gwembe to meet the rising demand for blood transfusions in medical facilities. We have the rest of the story in this report.
Across Zambia, the need for safe blood transfusions is on the rise. Medical procedures demanding blood as a vital medicine have increased, creating a critical need for donors. To address this challenge, the Zambia National Blood Transfusion Service under the Ministry of Health is on the mission to collect blood and expand their donor base. Their team, led by the blood donor manager Dia Kumwenda, is reaching out to communities in Southern Province.
So we are out here in Southern Province where we are here to actually make arrangements for blood collection. We already have a team that is working in the province. They are already collecting blood, but we are also setting ground for upcoming activities starting next week going forward. We want to try and speak to the pronouncement that the President gave, which is selecting the blood service as one of the presidential priorities. So we have set a target for 400,000 units of blood.
The ZNBT's strategy is to engage local stakeholders. In Pemba, Mons and Gwembe, they have partnered with schools.
Orders like this time around, we are using means of education. So we go to the schools. The response is actually overwhelming. People are very much willing to actually come forward to donate blood, more especially the youths.
As schools, we are ready to assist the department in ensuring that there is smooth collection of blood.
The blood collection team's efforts are resonating with local leaders like Pemba District Commissioner.
As Pemba District, we would be happy to participate in the donations of the bloods as a district. So the idea is welcome, but I can rightly assure you that we're going to give you the maximum support which you may need in order for you to carry out this exercise.
Chinto Nangamba, Zanis in Southern Province.
You are still watching Zanis news from the mass media complex area, but for now, let us take a look at that.
Dive into the Women's Month with great entertainment on Topstar. Enjoy the best of sports, series, movies, plus more for only 180 quarter monthly subscription. Antenna Classic OD Smart. Get set for a football roller coaster with the Bundesliga as Henry Kane's Bayern Munich continue to chase log leaders Bayer Leverkusen for the top sport. Also revel in the excitement of the Saudi Pro League and witness football giants Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema, Mane, and Fashion Sakala all in action. But there is more exciting content. Extend your entertainment to movie channels on Topstar. Intrigue yourself and family with the latest and freshest action movies on ST Movies Plus, mysterious and blockbusters on Filmbox, and the best of comedy movies on ST Zone.
Oh, that was worse, huh?
Every day. So, what are you waiting for? Download the StarTimes On app and enjoy content on the go. Subscribe today. Topstar. Enjoy digital life.
The World Health Organization has expressed happiness with the excellent leadership and commitment exhibited by the Ministry of Health at all levels in achieving a common goal of strengthening health systems in the country and ensuring better health coverage for all. And speaking in Solwezi District, acting World Health Organization country representative Asayas Andes pledged continued support to the government by ensuring that resources are available for effective delivery of healthcare services regardless of the geographical locations and challenges. Chaibun Koma reports from Northwestern Province.
Being one of the furthest districts in Zambia sharing two international borders, Angola and Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, Mwinilunga district faces a high risk of contracting diseases of international concern such as measles. It is for this reason that the World Health Organization, WHO, has stepped in to supporting the Zambian government through the Ministry of Health by donating a Land Cruiser Prado to Mwinilunga District Health Office to facilitate for the transportation of healthcare providers to hard-to-reach areas.
This handover symbolizes our commitment to support the government of Zambia through the Ministry of Health in ensuring that every person in this province has access to quality health care and that our health care providers have the necessary tools to deliver quality health care services.
The provincial administration has appreciated the gesture.
The vehicle provided by the World Health Organization will serve as a crucial tool in strengthening our capacity to monitor, respond to, and manage public health situations effectively in these border regions. Sir, we thank you so very much.
Provincial Health Director Dr. Lakson Chidikta has this to say.
We can assure you, sir, that as an office charged with the responsibility of providing oversight function over the DHOs, we assure you that we make sure that the vehicle is used for the intended purpose. We'll make sure that no excessive use of function outside the required prerequisites for the vehicle will not be allowed.
Reporting for Zanis News, I am Chaibun Koma in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
Thank you for that report. Now, in Central Province, Senior Chief Shakumbila of the Sala people of Shibuyunji and Mumbwa districts have appealed to mining investors to take development to places where they are operating firm. The traditional leader says that facilities set up from corporate social responsibilities have provided a good working environment for the traders and aged investors in his chiefdom to ensure they take development to the area. Details in this report.
Senior Chief Shakumbila of the Sala-speaking people of Shibuyunji and Mumbwa districts has conducted an inspection of the solar borehole fitted with a 10,000 litre capacity tank and 2x7 ablution compartments constructed by X-Point Investment Limited at Shamukombo Market. The traditional leader has reminded mining companies in his chiefdom to prioritize the needs of the local community if they are to foster good working relationship in the area.
I have all the powers to do anything. This is my chief edict. I don't wait for anybody to come and tell me what to do. I take it on my own because I want my people to enjoy the benefits of the minerals we have here. There is no place where you find the body the way it is here. You can go around Zambia. You are the old gold kings here. That's why you have seen all these companies coming over and around. Do what we want you to do.
X-Point Investment Limited Operations Manager Elton Kapapa has said the donation of the sanitation facilities is intended to promote cleanliness at the trading site.
There was literally no good sanitation when we came here. Even water system, clean drinking water. There was no clean drinking water. We thought we could also facilitate and give back to the community. We are appreciating what the community has done for us and helping the agenda of the country in development and giving back to the communities in bringing improvement and development to the communities.
Mumbwa Town Council Chairperson Charlie Masumo has appreciated the investment in sanitation infrastructure at Shamukombo Market.
So this investment will definitely go a long way. Also initially you see we had a lot of diseases here, like cholera and some other diseases, because the water purification system was bad. So with this investment, definitely our people will be saved from various diseases.
Zanis, Mumbwa.
Thank you, Kruger Sankuru, for that report. Now, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Solwezi East Mission District, have donated assorted hampers worth 25,000 kwacha to selected people, among them the aged and people living with disability in Kifua Ward. And speaking during the donation, Kifua Ward Councillor Alice Lubasi commended the youths and the church for impacting positively on the lives of the vulnerable in the area. Now, Jennifer Mutoshi gives us the details.
These are Solwezi East Mission District Seventh-day Adventist Church youths who have gathered to commemorate the Global Youth Day in style, in the spirit to serve the community as a way to proclaim the gospel of salvation. The youths have decided to walk long distances to visit the aged. Not only did they preach and sing with the old people, they also have assorted hampers to share.
We are being called and admonished that you and me are called by the voice and the word of the living God, must answer and show what Christ has done to you and for you in the city.
Kifua Ward Councillor Alice Lubasi is at hand to officiate during the distribution.
I'm just here to appreciate the good work that you have done. So may we continue with the same spirit, may we continue with the same zeal of working for the people. I pray and forever grateful to God that even next year we are going to do more and more and touch so many lives.
Meanwhile, the beneficiaries are very grateful.
So showing situation for kucheti mweo basade nchoikapa
The Global Youth Day, a seventh-day Adventist activity by youth, which takes place on the third Sabbath of March every year, was commemorated under the theme Show Up in Cities. For Zanis News in Solwezi District, Jennifer Mutoshi.
Now, Mazabuka Mayor Vincent Lilanda has commended the role the church is playing to collaborate with government in bringing development under difficult circumstances. Mr. Lilanda said that currently the country is experiencing a drought crisis and the church has a role to play of working with the government. The mayor said this during the installation of Bishop Ronald Tewulu as the resident bishop of Not by Mighty congregation in Mazabuka district. Details in this report.
Not by Mighty Church
has today installed a resident bishop to oversee affairs of the congregation of the Pentecostal assemblies at this congregation. The installation was necessitated by the demise of the late Bishop Biton Siamasumo in 2022. During the installation, Mazabuka Mayor Vincent Ilanda was a guest of honor, acknowledging the role of the church as a key player for citizens to survive through the current national crisis.
I think all of you are aware of what is happening now. You are all aware of what is happening now. The president declared this drought as a national disaster and emergency. And the president is asking the international world to come and help. The president has also instructed all institutions to redirect resources, whatever resources we have, to places where there is a hunger. Therefore, one of the effects is food. Our people has got no food. There is shortage of water for both livestock or animals and us human beings. We already have community sales. Maize is being sold in our sheds. So the message I have is allow all government departments that will be coming around in the community collecting any information.
The installed Bishop Ronald Tebulu states the church will continue collaborating with the government in all times.
But we need to understand that this is a natural disaster and the church will respond accordingly. We are not just going to be preaching the gospel as it were. We are also putting in measures, things that we're going to do to help out the communities that are really affected by this drought. We know that some of those that are affected are actually in our churches. So we are looking at meeting these needs in our churches. PLG as a big fellowship, we have plans to go out in the rural areas and especially the vulnerable communities to just make sure that we give food aid to those of our beloveds that are affected with this hunger crisis that is looming.
Gazela Yabwanda, Zanis, in Mazabuka district of Southern Province.
Now, government says it anticipates to harvest 1,750,000 metric tons of maize from the areas that are not affected by drought. And Munali constituents Member of Parliament Mike Mposha says government will next week, Tuesday, start harvesting the 150,000 metric tons of winter maize, which will not be exported to ensure food security in the country. And speaking when he officiated at Avondale Seventh-day Adventist Church dedication service, Mr. Mposha said government intends to import 200,000 metric tons as one of the measures to ensure food security in the country. Mr. Mposha, who is also Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, stated that 1.2 million hectares of maize has so far been lost in the 84 districts that have been hit by the drought. And the Avondale SDA Church service elder, Milna Moba, assured the government of the church's commitment to help in eradicating moral decay among the youths in the country. Mr. Moba pledged that the church will also continue with its community service through various activities conducted by the different groups in the church.
We speak, we've lost more than 1.2 million hectares of crop. 84 districts of the country have been terribly hit by this drought. And these districts are mainly sitting around Eastern Province, Central Province, Lusaka, Western and Southern Province. This drought has also resulted in worse levels of water. Obviously, this will affect or has already affected energy production. As you know, that more than 85%
And finally, in the news, Zambia is set to take part in the Four Nations tournament to be staged in Lilongwe, Malawi. The tournament, which will feature Kenya, Zimbabwe, Zambia and hosts Malawi, will kick off tomorrow, March 18th to 26th, 2024. And Chipolopolo head coach Avram Grant has since summoned a 24-member squad, including England-based striker Patson Daka, less forward Lamek Banda, and Switzerland-based defensive midfielder Miguel Chaiwa. And Audrey Kalinga has more in this report.
All is set for the Four Nations tournament to be held in Malawi. The week-long football fiesta will begin tomorrow, 18th to 26th March 2024. Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya, Malawi are the four countries taking part in the tournament during the upcoming FIFA international window. Chipolopolo head coach Avram Grant has since named a 24-member strong squad with the majority of players that took part in the Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast.
That in June we start, we'll continue moving forward and we'll show a good team. Of course, there is a position that we have many players, and position that we are lack of players. Everybody know our strength and our weakness, but in the end of the day, we want to show as a team, to perform as a team, and I think we will continue moving forward. It will be very tough in June, but I'm very positive about this, and this tournament is very important for the preparation.
Okay. Leicester City forward Patson Daka leads the list of players summoned alongside 22 of AFCON winners Topila Sunzu. The tournament, which has been sponsored by First Capital Bank, aims to enhance and promote football development in the region. The tournament also fosters unity among the participating nations and demonstrates confidence in football beyond borders, emphasizing the value and potential of the four nations involved. Zambia is using the Four Nations tournament as preparations for the June round of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Audrey Kalinga for Zanis Sports in Lusaka.
Thank you, Audrey Kalinga, for that report. Now, that sports item brings us to the end of the news. We look at the headlines once again. ZNBS to construct 236 housing units. Rimfunsa Wetland Cropping Program beneficiaries identified. WHO applauds Ministry of Health for quality service delivery. Plus, Zambia preps for the Four Nations tournament. That brings us to the end of the news, and on behalf of the entire production crew at Zanis, thank you so much for being with us. It has been Margaret Kangwa. Stay tuned.